Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I am ecstatic because I am on my way down to Missouri. So my good buddy Joe and his buddy Dane have a ton of property, and they farm, they do some hunts, and I think I first hunted with Joe about 3 years ago, and I am yet to punch a Missouri tag, but this deer that I'm chasing this year is really special to me because of how many encounters I had with him last year. And he was a stud of a deer. He just was young, and we felt like he needed another year of maturing. Well, he definitely matured. He definitely blew up, and I'm just ecstatic to go try to see him on the hoof again. And if I get an opportunity at him, then yeah, I mean, all the better, right? But I'm kind of threading the needle on this one. So I just got back from Texas dove hunting down there. I leave in 5 days to go to Scotland, and we'll be there for 10 or 11 days. So I'm really hoping I can make this happen here in these few days that I can be down here, because if not, it's a big stretch of time that I have to let go before I can get back down here. And we know for a fact that the neighbors know about this deer and are going to try to pursue this deer. So we feel like we have somewhat of a read on him. Not a crazy pattern that I'm aware of anyway. Maybe Joe has a secret for me, but Joe's actually in Kansas, and he's on his own hunt. So we're kind of going to be texting back and forth on some things. We have a game plan for tonight. The game plan for tonight is to not be overly aggressive because the wind isn't perfect, but hopefully tomorrow, if the wind stays true on what we think it is, then we think tomorrow might be the night to be a little more aggressive. So I'm just excited to be back out. For me, archery hunting is not only a passion of mine. It was actually the first job that I ever had. Well, I guess second job. My first job was working in a paper factory. I try to forget that job. But my second real job was as a bow tech working in a bow shop. So I really I have a strong passion for this. And then this is my release time. This is my chill time. Anytime I'm waterfowl hunting, as you guys know how much I love it, but it is work to me. It's work as far as I'm working the dogs, trying to put on at least a performance of some sort, for people. There's always the stress of when anyone comes, the expectations are high. So there's just always a lot going on, where this is just me time, be quiet, be present. I think we all need that in our lives. This is something I'm really excited about here. So we have about 45 minutes left of our drive. Then we're gonna get down here. We're gonna get settled in pretty quickly. I had a sick kiddo last night, so I did not get on the road as early as I wanted to, but gonna be there in time. Gonna be a quick unload and then get right out. So again, tonight's gonna be more of an observing deal, but you never know, right? We're still gonna be on the same farm. So but I'm just excited to be back out there. All right, so this is the night of day one, and we're sitting in a Banks blind that Joe has set up basically for an observation. So where we think our best opportunity is, the wind is just not right for it tonight, and you don't get an opportunity to mess up on a big deer like this more than once. So we really want to make it count. We feel like tomorrow, unless something changes, the wind is way better for it. So we're gonna put our eggs in that basket. Today, I'm in the game, right? So I'm like in the area that you could certainly show up here. This is kind of the deceiving part of cameras, right? So where we've had cameras and we know he's been, that doesn't mean that he's not somewhere else, right? So we're definitely in the vicinity. Now we just have to kind of use this as an observation night. I just don't want to get overly aggressive and potentially bump him out and ruin this for us. So, these big deer get big for a reason, and so we really want to make sure we take our time. So, it is hot. Oh my gosh! Like you can see, I'm blacked out. It's gonna be a hot box tonight. It's just one of those things. Just stick it out, observe the best we can, and hopefully you'll have a game plan. You never know. I mean, it could happen tonight. You don't know. But I'm giving it a go. I'm super, super excited to be here. So here we go, night one. So as you can tell, probably tell, I'm sweating my tail off in here. But just what we got to do, I'm at a really good observation spot right here. So I should be able to see, if there's any movement back and forth, but where we think he's spending the majority of the time is actually down the hill from where I am right now. So right now, you just kind of, one of those nights, just kind of grit through it. And again, you never know. You never know. So I don't know why, but I'm loving this. Loving this. So it's about 6:40, and we have had 2 young bucks in the beans in front of us, and quite a few does and fawns. So there's certainly been action. Just no big boys yet, and not what we call the Lake 10. So Lake 10 has not shown himself yet. It seems like these deer are like coming out of these beans, and then they'll leave, and it's almost like a next wave comes in. So I don't know if they're staging to go to a different plot or what they're doing, but kind of a lot of in and out. So it's certainly been an entertaining night. But I would just love to see him on the hoof. It has been, let's see, probably about 9 months-ish, maybe 8 months since I've seen him on the hoof. I've seen photos, just not him on the hoof, and I'm really, really anxious to see that. So, about a half hour until sunset, maybe like an hour or so, left of light here. So we're gonna stick it out here, and hopefully we see him. If not, I do feel good about that we are. I'm not where I really think that we could seal the deal, wind-wise. So, but I'd still love to see him. So we'll see what the rest of the night has to bring. Just had a really, really pretty mature deer out in the beans. I mean, I didn't get a great video of him because I caught him on the corner of my eye, and I could tell right away by the body size he was mature. So I was kind of setting more up to shoot, and he kind of came out. You can see he kind of goes, he comes out and then goes back, and I have these branches in the way, so I didn't get a great video of him. But fun to see my first, good deer. Wasn't him, wasn't like them, but good deer. that's it for day one. It was a great sit. I wasn't overly optimistic that we were going to see him, and we didn't, but saw some other really good deer, and it was just good to be back out. So hopefully the wind stays true to what it says it's going to do tomorrow, and we can go be aggressive and make a little better move. So I'm going to sneak out of here and get back, have some dinner, get some rest, and get back at it tomorrow. So here we are, morning of day 2, and the tough part about early season hunts like this is just the day. So I have quite a few hours yet until I'm going to go out and sit this afternoon. And Joe is just really, really good at chasing these big deer. I mean, his track record speaks for itself. But ever since he and I have become good buddies, I've learned a lot just from listening to him and his experiences. And so I'd asked him on the phone. He's in Kansas right now, and I asked him, like, dude, like, what do you think, mornings? And he's like, I wouldn't get that aggressive yet. Just don't screw it up. And the big thing is you just don't get 2 opportunities to screw up on a big mature deer like this. So, we think that tonight, as long as the wind stays true to what we think it's going to do, it might be one of our best opportunities. Now, doesn't mean he's going to daylight, right? Like, these big deer get big for a reason. So, I'm really anxious about tonight. I'm more excited about tonight certainly than I was about last night. But and I love being down here. So I was actually born only about 45 minutes from here. So it's kind of fun to feel like I'm kind of back to some roots here as I get back, close to where I was born. I love these rolling hills. I just love the quality and caliber of deer that tend to be in this area. And it's every time I get down here, I just love being here. But these days get a little long, sitting here by myself. I actually have no cell service, and so it's a lot of, I'm shooting my bow a lot. Really like this new Hoyt, so shout out to my buddy Brian, my boy B-Mac, for hooking me up with a new Hoyt. And first Hoyt I've ever had. I really, really like it, and so I'm shooting a lot of arrows, and just kind of trying to be productive with the day. So we have a few more hours here. Actually, we have like 6 more hours until I get to go out. So I already got a workout in. I've already shot my bow a bunch. I'm running out of things to do so far, but anyway, you guys spend some time here hanging out and get ready for tonight. All right, so tonight is the night that I've been super excited for. We have the wind that we need. I feel like things are working out. It was kind of rainy, today. The sun is coming out. Hope it doesn't get super humid to where deer movement waits until evening. But if they start moving like they did last night, hopefully those bigger deer get on their feet a little earlier. So I'm sitting over a food plot right now, where we believe he's bedding, and where we believe there's a chance for him to come to is, it's right here. So we're really excited about it. So we do have a couple of cameras, but the thing with cameras is, cameras don't tell the whole story, right? So we have cell cameras. We did not get him on camera last night. I didn't come down here again because the wind was wrong, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't here, right? So I feel like cameras can be a super great tool, but they can also be very misleading if you put all your eggs in that basket. So here I'm really excited about this. So we'll see. I'm gonna temper my expectations so I don't get too excited, and I'm just looking for him, looking for Lake 10. So here we go, night 2, Missouri. to share with you guys something, which is this right here. So my grandfather is a very important person to me in my life, and a lot of what I do today is because of the opportunities that he has given me, and some of the things I've learned, lessons I've learned from him. So one of my greatest pleasures that I have right now is that I can give back to him. He's 91, I think, right now. And he comes out to my farm, just like I went to his farm and learned how to hunt, learned how to be outdoors, fell in love with the outdoors. Now he comes to my farm and loves my farm. And so it's kind of a fun thing for me. But this right here is one of the things he loves to do. And so a friend of mine had the idea of using milkweed for wind checkers. And so now what he does, my grandpa, he goes around and he gets milkweed from my farm, dries it, and I put it in little bottles like this. As you can see, we have plenty of pet meds that we put, we have extra of these bottles around. And so I carry this with me, and that's my wind checker. I just think that's kind of a fun thing. It's what's neat about it, it's not just a sentimental thing, it actually is neat. So when you use the wind indicator, the chalk, it goes up, you see where the initial wind is. This is big enough when you let it go, you go and see what the wind is doing, but you can see if the wind changes, say 10, 20 yards away from you, depending on how high up you are, because sometimes that piece of cotton there will float, and then all of a sudden it'll switch directions and swirl. And so it's just really interesting knowing what your wind is doing. It helps me because if I have a certain deer moving in a certain direction, I know, okay, right here the wind did something goofy, so maybe there's something to watch for there. So kind of a neat thing. It's kind of fun, and I'm very bored right now because I got in here extra early, just in the anticipation of this might be the night, and knock on wood, but I have no cell service here, which means I have a lot of hours to sit here. And we'll see how many more of these videos I end up doing. But that's it. I don't have enough service on my phone to be able to see when the storm is supposed to pass, but I hope it's really quick. Just had a 2.5-year-old buck come running out of the woods, ran in where these two fawns were, stopped for a second, looked around, ran off. And there's a lot of thunder going on. I don't know, you can probably hear it starting to rain really hard. I really, really, really hope that the weather does not goof this night up. Hopefully it passes and things can get on as normal, but we'll see. Can't fight Mother Nature. So day 3 here in Missouri. Probably the best that I've had as far as, wind, although it's very different than yesterday. We're on the same plot, hoping to still hunt that same travel route, but I'm just on the other side of it. Wind is better for here, it's kind of pushing behind me. Out in front of me, I've got a clover plot into those beans that I was watching yesterday. So the box blind I was in is actually kind of across. From us here, we can't see it. I don't have a ton of shooting lanes here, so I have to be on my game. If they're moving, it'll be pretty fast. But really hoping tonight's the night that we can see them on the hoof. So I have my Ozonics up here and going, just in case we get a wind shift or something like that. I really want to be prepared. So it's about 4 o'clock. So wanted to get in here early. I've been in for about a half hour. Want to be in early just in case. Would rather be too early than too late. So here's the hope. So trip 1 did not go as planned because, well, I didn't see him. So I didn't see Lake 10. I'm not overly surprised, but to be honest with you, I am a little surprised. I did expect to see him. I expect to see him on the hoof. Really wanted to. Weather didn't play in my favor. Wind didn't play in my favor on the days that the weather was good. So, I'm disappointed I didn't see him. But to be honest with you, I'm not overly disappointed that I didn't get to let an arrow go, because I am really thoroughly enjoying the chase of this. So now it's a little nerve-wracking, again, knowing that the neighbors know about him, they're pursuing him. I have to go to Scotland, and Scotland, England, going to spend some time. This is a big part of our business because they go over there, relationships, spending time at field trials, spending time at training days. I'm going to do some hunting. I'm really excited. I'm going to hunt red grouse, which I'm super excited to do, very prestigious. Red stag, which would be amazing if I could harvest a red stag. And I have a lot of stuff that I have planned, but that's going to be 12 to 13, 14 days, depending on travel, that's going to take me away. So that's 2 weeks that is just kind of up. Now, fortunately, it's kind of during that like October lull time. So before pre-rut, that early season when they should be patternable, which obviously I didn't have them patterned that well because I didn't see them. So that's kind of where we're at with it. So going to go on this trip, going to come back, and really, really, really hope that he stays consistent, stays around, and stays on that farm and out of harm's way. So I'm going to pack up here and have a long flight ahead of me, but we'll be back here and hopefully get back on him as soon as I get back. All right, everybody. So it is October 16th. It is the morning of October 16th. Just getting the kids off to school, and I am getting packed. So I just got back here a couple days ago from an awesome trip overseas, and I harvested my first ever red stag. Got a red grouse, a lot of really great relationship stuff. So I'm super, super happy about that trip. But it was nerve-wracking because the entire time I was gone, not one photo of Lake 10. not one, completely disappeared. I was trying to convince myself that it was, just what big deer do. They just disappear kind of during that time frame, that he would show back up kind of pre-rut. But the longer it went on, the less I really believed that. But last night, we have a photo on a bean plot, and it's him. And so I'm literally getting my stuff together as fast as I can. I'm going to get in the truck. I'm going to get down there. I think if I get going right now, I should get down there about 3 or so. I'm going to get right in a tree. The wind is not great for that plot he's in, but there's a brassica plot that's right by it that the wind is right for. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get into that plot, get in there, and just kind of be, in the game, if you will. Maybe he does come out there, but then tomorrow it looks like the wind is going to shift and give me a better opportunity. So I am putting a pattern that is not what I brought overseas, but the subalpine pattern that is better suited for. I'm going down as a lot of green yet, so I'm getting kind of unpacked, repacked, and then I'm going to get on the road and get down there. So got my gear, gonna get my pack, gonna get my bow, and I'm gonna get on the road. So here's the hoping. Well, so here we are back in Missouri, and a little later than what I wanted to. It's about 3:30 right now. I just got right out here to the farm, and gonna just get dressed. Got my bow, my bag of clothes, everything all right back there. So I'm just gonna get dressed and get out here. So we have a couple photos, all nocturnal so far. Hoping that changes. It's that time of year. We're getting mid-October. Hopefully he starts getting a little active, wanting to start working some scrapes, kind of get on his feet a little more during daylight. Can't get on him if I'm at home. So I want to jet down here before I get to Alberta. Spend the next 3 days down here trying to get on this deer. But he's actually where I'm going to hunt tonight is on a food plot that is not far from where I had my first ever encounter with this deer last year. So it's kind of exciting that that kind of brings me back to this spot of the farm. But I'm gonna get dressed here. But let me show you this. I just think this is like absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like, the rolling hills. I just love this part of the state. Love this part of the country. But I'm gonna get dressed and get on out here. So, I'm still trying to calm down. I shot him. I feel like I just killed like 10. And so I'll tell you the whole story. I want to tell this now because I know what's going to happen. I'm already doing it. I'm just like, I'm overthinking everything a little bit. Shot placement wise. Okay. So I'll just kind of run down the whole thing. So in that food plot I was sitting, what was weird about this thing, like the set tonight was, because of the wind, like it was more of like, hey, we're in the game, like not the plot that actually we were getting photos in was not, it was the one to the north of that. But with the wind tonight, like I had to sit where I was, but it was close, and so I guess he just wanted greens tonight, just, okay, so let's go through this now. So, I was watching a doe and a fawn to my left, kind of below my stand. And then there was a doe and a fawn further down. But the hard part about tonight was like there was so much foliage up, right? So like there was a lot of leaves. Okay, so the doe and fawn to my right, that was like further down the food plot, I could only see them kind of like flashing, like not flashing, but like there's so many leaves I could kind of pick them out. So I was watching this doe and fawn, and I just kind of periodically kept looking. So I kept looking, look down there, and then I look down there and I'm looking at the doe straight away from me, just see her tail and her hiding in there. And she lifts her head up, and it's not a her. It's like whoosh. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, I'm shaking, guys. I'm just like, I'm jacked up. So I knew right away, it was him. Like, if you have ever, he is Boone. Like he's just Boone. I'm very confident. That's just a different caliber of deer, So anyway, I see him, I put the binos on him. I can see that kicker on his right too. And like, that's my like major identifier, cause that's like, I think he's a perfectly clean 10 other than that one, kicker. Perfect. Like, he's perfect. So watching that doe and fawn, and, and so he starts kind of being a big dog, right? So he's going to kind of like bump some does, look tough, kind of like, bow up, lip curl a little bit, do his thing, just kind of being tough guy, right? And that doe and fawn that was down there, he bumped him, and they came right by me, like right underneath me, right in front of me. And the doe, just kind of being edgy, was like looking basically like right at the base of my tree, like kind of past my tree. And I was looking down at them. I got my binos, right? My binos. And I didn't, I froze. The last thing I want to do here is get busted, right? And so, I am, I'm, froze watching her, right? And then she finally, feels like 10 minutes is probably a minute. She moves on. I look back and I don't see him. And the last I saw him, he was facing straight away from me. And so if he went straight away, I'm just thinking, okay, he's probably going to go curl around and go in the beans, where we have been getting night photos of him. Okay. So, anyway, I don't see him. And so I'm kind of like trying to look, whatever. And then I see, and I'll show you, I have a little clip here. I'm sure, we can show it. All of a sudden there he is. And he's like that. So the other end of that food plot is 50. And so he's probably at, 70 right now. He's making a scrape. And so I got a short little, and you guys will have to accept my apology that being on the camera was not my priority in this moment. But I did take the camera out, and I got a little video of him making a scrape. And so he's kind of racking, he's doing his deal. But the hard part was, like, I'm way legal shooting light. But in that plot, so I've got big hills all around me. I'm in that plot with tons of foliage. Like, it was getting dark so fast. And that was what I was nervous about. Okay, so he starts working, like, after that scrape. I'm like, hey, what's he going to do? He's going to go in the woods. He's going to go right down, like, right to my shooting lane. Okay, so I get ready, and and I'm set. And literally a half step before he gets into that shooting lane, he turns and he walks right at me. Like, right at me. And, normally that wouldn't be a big deal, right? Like, okay, like if I had a half-hour daylight left, that's great. I'm going to let him keep coming all the way to me, right? But I didn't. And so I'm ranging. So here's one thing. So my son loves to mess with my rangefinder. And so I bought a new one just to kind of hide from him, keep with me, because I knew I was going to get somewhere and it'd be missing. And so it was set on the highest setting as far as the the light. If you're seeing a rangefinder, right? So that red light in there. So like that was my first panic moment is like it's getting dark. I'm trying to range him. It's like all red. So I'm like trying to figure out how do I dim this thing, but I don't want to screw it up, go from yards to meters or anything like that. Lots going on, as you can tell. I'm sorry, guys. Like I'm jacked up. I know I'm talking fast. So anyway, so we I kind of get nervous, right? So I'm range every time he's walking straight to me. I just straight to me. It's just feeding. My last range was 41, and so I range him at 41. And it's again like it feels like every second is getting like a layer of dark more, like darker. And so, but I also don't want to make this sound weird. Like it wasn't like it's so dark you can't, like it wasn't that, right? But like if you've ever archery hunted, you know what I'm talking about. Like but you start looking through that peep, you start looking at pins, you start looking at stuff, like it gets dark fast. And anyway, he turns and he quarters to me what I feel like is a good quartering two shot. I have never ever taken a quartering two shot, so it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But it was the shot that I felt like I had, because in the moment what I'm thinking is, okay, what's his next step? Is his next step more broadside? Awesome. But he's been coming my way, and if he turns my way and keeps feeding at me, like I may never, like this is my opportunity, right? So let the arrow fly. And so this is my in the moment. Okay, this is what I want to document, so I can go back and listen to this. I feel like I hit him great. Like I feel like I was right in front of that front shoulder. I feel like I'm in vitals. I feel like my up and down is good. But so he took off, and I could certainly see arrow sticking out the entrance side. Now, if you guys are with me, if you're archery hunters, you're probably like I am, like hit off shoulder, like that's totally fine. Like, yeah, great. He's dead. But I didn't hear a crash, and my mind is like playing, I got those yellow fletchings. Like my mind is playing tricks on me. Like, was there more sticking out than what I thought? Like, was I too far forward and hit shoulder? Was I, like, that's the only thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So call Joe, and like Joe's a wizard at this stuff. Like he's really good. He's tracked tons of deer, crazy knowledgeable. Probably the most knowledgeable whitetail person I know. Like the dude's good. So I called him, like I texted him, and I'm like, dude, I just shot like 10. I swear within 2 seconds my phone was ringing. I'm in the stand. I'm like freaking, I called Whitney in the stand too. I sat in that stand for probably an hour, and of course I'm whispering the whole time. But yeah, I'm just, I'm jacked up. I'm excited, but I'm nervous, right? Didn't hear the crash and whatever. So we're gonna let him sit for probably the next 3 to 4 hours. And what I told Joe is like, we could just leave him, like just let him sit overnight. And this is where it helps I'm someone local, right? Because he's like, man, you could, but like the coyotes will destroy that deer if he's dead by morning. I was like, really? Because like I'm not used to that. Oh gosh, hold on. Okay. I was like, I'm not used to that, and he's like, no, it's a real thing, So he said he had a client that had a deer, literally nothing left but a spine and antlers by the next morning, which sounds pretty extreme, but like he knows what he's talking about. So what he said is we're going to go in, just look for blood, just look, and make an assessment, right? So like if we feel like it's good, great. If we don't, we back out. And I like that plan. I like giving them that 3 to 4 hours. Like I've already sat for an hour, after the shot. So this is gonna be a long couple hours, but it's the right thing to do. Yeah, if it was at home, I'd probably just be leaving, just be safe. I wouldn't get to sleep tonight, of course, but that's kind of where we're at. golly, I'm jacked up, but like I'm getting to a point now where my adrenaline's come down, and now I'm just kind of getting nervous, right? Like, I hope that shot is where I think it is. I hope so. So that's where we're at. So stay tuned.
Right down the trail. Huh? Turn your light off. What? Yeah, I think so. Dang, Bubba. Stud, man. Pick him up.
So when he was looking away from us, I thought he broke this off. Because on the photos, I thought it was kicking off this side, not forward, just how every other, the angles were on it.
Yeah. That's why you let him go. It's quite a bit more impressive than that shed you got. You know what I mean?
We got him, guys. we got him. So I'm gonna apologize. I did not take hardly any video. Hopefully Joe got some of us, tracking or something. Because I did, and I was in that moment, and man, he's mega, like he's big, and man, it's kind of weird, like I'm kind of in a point right now. If you're an archery hunter, especially, I'm sure you can empathize with what I'm feeling right now. So like, here's the deer that we have multiple years of history with, right? So like I saw this deer all the time last year, let him walk. And then this year, like you go back to like the trail cam photos and, velvet to hardhorn to, getting down here. My last daylight photo of him was before opening day. And then he disappears. Like, so you hunt him for whatever it was, 8-9 days. I can't even remember now. Opening week, don't see him. A couple nighttime photos, he disappears for 12 days, 13 days, something like that. And so you start getting nervous, right? Did a neighbor kill him? Did something happen, right? And then he shows back up. So this has like been a roller coaster. And then like today, man, like, all right, got a photo of him, so get excited. So hop in the truck, literally the next morning, get down there, get down here, drive to the farm, like literally from home, drive to the farm, like don't even go to the house, drop my stuff off, get in, kill him. Like, I guess where I'm going with this is like, it's a bittersweet thing. He's a deer of a lifetime. Like he's awesome. He does everything. Like, and I've loved hunting this deer. Like if you guys are looking to come hunt in this area, you gotta look Indian Hills. Like Joe and Dane, like they've got the property, man. Like they have deer. Like this area is just, it's phenomenal. So you got to look them up if you're looking to get on a guided hunt. But where I'm going with this is it's also bitter because it's over. Yeah, I know it might sound weird, but like it is. Like I've thoroughly enjoyed chasing this deer. I've thoroughly enjoyed keeping up with that. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time in the tree. I've thoroughly enjoyed the other deer that are slammer deer, great deer that have let walk, because I'm wanting this deer. Man, like, just, yeah, it's awesome. Like I'm ecstatic, but it's just this weird feeling, you know. So, golly, man, it's just, he's special. He is a special deer, and so I could not be happier. Shot was right where I thought it was, which was super reassuring. I felt really good about the shot. He went 122 yards. Tracked him on Onyx as we went through our track. Which is a great way to do that, by the way, because if you ever lose blood, you can come right back to, you know, where it was. So, yeah, it's fantastic, you guys. So, so we're gonna go back, you know, get him caped out, get him cleaned out. Hopefully, you know, get a few really good photos. I mean, shoot, it's after midnight now, but 12:30 in the morning. So, you know, we'll see. You know, by the time we get back and everything, I don't know if we're gonna do some. I think we'll probably do some, maybe some photos in the morning before we cape them out. Now that I think about it, because we just got a couple nighttime photos, and you know, we've got a big walk-in cooler over at Joe's that we can get them in and get them gutted out and cleaned out and all that good stuff. So, gosh, guys, like this has been a cool story. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get the footage that I really wanted to, but you know, I'm not a self filmer, at least not yet, on these hunts, and so. It's a heck of a story. It would have been awesome to have it fully documented, but it's a heck of a story. Like this, that's a heck of a deer. It's just pretty awesome. So I'm ecstatic, super excited. Hopefully we have a roll of some photos here to show you that they're special photos. But I'm gonna get back. I'm not at all tired. Like normally I'm you know, more of an early to bed guy, but I'm like, obviously, you know, I could have fallen out of that tree. I was shaking so bad, you know, when I shot. So great stuff, you guys. Thank you so much for following along on this. This is a really special deer, special thing for me, and happy to share something with you guys. So hope you enjoyed it.